Hey guys, it's Kimber from the Pinning Mama. I'm here today to show you the step-by-step on how to make your own design to make a Disney autograph shirt. So what I'm showing you here is just my final file that I cut with my silhouette, and to make one of these, the first thing I'm going to do is go here and open just a outline of Mickey Mouse that I downloaded online. I am going to make it a little bit bigger, and then I'm going to trace it. So I go right here to the trace window. Then I select the trace area, which is going to be the whole outline of Mickey right there. And because I want actually an outline when I do this, I am not going to change anything. It looks pretty great to me. So I am just going to hit trace and get a nice trace of that, pull the image down, select it, delete it, and I'm left with my Mickey Mouse. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and pull this out and size it. I want it to be a little over 7 inches, which is what I use for my shirt. You can measure your shirt and decide whether you need a bigger or smaller one, just depending on the size. Okay, so that's the next thing. The next step is just to duplicate this. So you have another one. It makes it a little bit easier to work with when you're doing the text on the path. So now that I have two, I'm going to start doing my text. So then I'm going to come over here and click on my text window. I'm going to click right here. Anywhere on the screen is fine, and I'm just going to type autographs, which is what I want on Mickey. I'm going to select that. I'm going to change the font to Waltograph, which is the Disney looking font. And then you'll notice that this, while it's editable text, while I'm in here editing, has a green bounding box around it with a little arrow sign on it. We need that arrow cross to be able to move it. So if you click off of it and just click back on it, it doesn't have that. So you'll have to double click on it so that it's editable to get back to this box if you get off of there. Now you want to click on there, you want to take it, and you want to move it right on your Mickey Mouse. You can move it anywhere kind of like on the shape, but I want mine kind of where I showed you right here. So I'm going to leave it right there. The next thing I'm going to do is, you can see that these letters right here are sitting on top of my outline. Where I actually want them is right even with the outline, because I'm going to cut out that piece of the Mickey Mouse to make it look like the autographs is just kind of a continuous part of that Mickey shape. So I'm going to use this slider right here to slide the word down until it is exactly where I want, right in the middle of that line. Perfect. The third thing I'm going to do right here in this section is just adjust the character spacing a little bit. I like to spread them out to make sure they're not overlapping, since they are on that curve, and it looks nice. And then when it all looks perfect, I'm going to go ahead and click off, check it again, and then I'm going to right click, oops, and I'm going to convert to path. And what that does is now it's no longer editable, but it makes it actually that exact shape and part of that shape. So I have that there. I'm then going to delete this outer gray Mickey that was my shape I used to create that. I'm going to move this one right here on. It's exactly the same size and shape as the other one, so it should fit just where you wanted it. And then all I need to do now is just get rid of this line that goes from here, to here through the word. So I'm going to use my knife tool, come over to the side, I'm going to click right here on this guy. I think to do this it's easier if you zoom in a little bit so you can get real exact and nice where you want it. So I'm going to first come to this part, and you just need to click, hold, and click again. There you go. And that one, and then up here I'm going to make a slice right by the S, and you'll notice that that now made a slice right here and a slice right here. If you were zoomed out, you might not even be able to tell that it did anything or cut through the line, but if you zoom in, you'll be able to see it. So now I'm going to take my select tool, click that piece that I just separated from the rest of the Mickey head, and just hit delete. Oops, I didn't do that. If you do the wrong thing, you just Control Z or undo, and you try again. Let's see what I have. Oh, I did it again. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. Okay, then you just select that piece and you delete it, and now when I zoom back out, you will see that I have that nice outline of Mickey with the autographs right in the middle of that line, which is exactly where I want it. And then the only other thing I really like to do here is just I select both the head and the autographs, right click, and I like to group those together. And then if you are doing a heat transfer project like I did on the shirt, you're going to want to mirror it. So I'm just going to click on it so it's selected, go up to Object, Mirror, flip horizontally so that it cuts correctly for you to iron on. Now if you were cutting out this design and putting it just in vinyl on the front of like a notebook for autographs, you don't want to flip it. But if you're doing it in HTV on a shirt, definitely flip it so that it comes out right. And now you're ready to cut your design. I just cut mine using the smooth black sizer heat transfer vinyl from Expressions Vinyl. And if you have the same thing, you're just gonna go to your cut settings right here, and I just used the, oops, did I miss it? Oops, a little bit more. Heat transfer material smooth right there. So I just use the default settings for that. And then of course I always recommend doing a test cut once you get those settings just to make sure it works, because every blade, every machine is a little bit different, but the basic settings did work just fine for me. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave me a comment and I will try to answer them. Or if you're with us on YouTube, make sure to check out the full post on this to see kind of the comments and all the little tips and tricks I have for making the shirt. You can get the link to it right there in the description of this video. Thanks again, and tune in for the next video. Thanks guys, bye-bye.